Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Business English Podcast. I'm your host, Rob. Whether you're communicating, having a coffee break, or just taking a moment to yourself, I'm glad you're joining me today. In our fast-paced business world, being able to dig deeper into topics and analyze them thoroughly is a crucial skill. But how do you effectively communicate this need for deeper investigation in English? Today, we're diving into advanced ways to investigate a topic in more detail. We'll explore 6 powerful expressions that will not only enhance your communication, but also impress your colleagues and clients. Imagine being in a meeting and confidently saying, "Let's peel back the layers on this issue," or "We need to drill down into these numbers." How impactful would that be? We'll break it down into 3 sections. First, the principles and techniques behind these expressions. Second, the phrases themselves, with practical examples of how to use them. And finally, some key tips to ensure you're using them effectively in various professional scenarios. So, stay tuned. By the end of this episode, you'll have some fantastic new tools to add to your business English toolkit. Ready to get started? Let's dive in. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Business English Podcast, helping professionals communicate more effectively, more confidently, and with impact. With your host, Rob, from Energetic English. Let's get down to business. All right. Let's kick things off with the principles and techniques behind using advanced expressions to investigate a topic in more detail. When you're facing a complex issue at work, it's essential to have a strategy in place to dissect and understand it thoroughly. This isn't just about gathering data, it's about analysing it, breaking it down, and communicating your findings effectively. First, thorough research is key. Before you even start a discussion, make sure you have all the relevant information at your fingertips. This will not only help you understand the topic better, but also give you the confidence to speak about it in detail. Next, analytical thinking comes into play. It's about looking at the data from different angles, spotting trends and identifying anomalies. Ask yourself, what are the underlying issues here? What patterns am I seeing? But here's the kicker. Even if you've done all this groundwork, it won't matter unless you can communicate your findings clearly and effectively. This is where the right phrases come in. Using precise language helps you convey your depth of understanding and your ability to lead the conversation. Imagine you're in a high-stakes meeting. You know there's a problem, but it's not immediately obvious what's causing it. Saying something like, "Let's get into the weeds of this issue," signals to everyone that you're ready to dig deep and tackle the problem head on. In this episode, we'll focus on how to use these expressions to not only uncover the details, but also lead discussions and drive action. You'll learn how to seamlessly integrate these phrases into your professional vocabulary, making you a more persuasive and effective communicator. So, what are these magic phrases and how exactly do we use them? We'll dive into that next, so stay tuned, because the right words can transform how you investigate and discuss complex topics at work. Ready to enhance your business English skills? Let's move on to the next section. Now it's time to dive into the real meat of the episode, 6 powerful expressions that will help you investigate topics in more detail. Ready? Let's get started. First up, we have get into the weeds. Let's say that together. Get into the weeds. This phrase means to look at the finer details of a situation. Imagine you're in a project meeting and the initial reports look fine, but you suspect there are hidden issues. You could say, "Let's get into the weeds of this report to uncover the underlying issues." This shows you're ready to dig deeper and find those crucial details others might overlook. Next, we have peel back the layers. Say it with me. Peel back the layers. This expression is perfect when you need to uncover multiple levels of information. Picture this. You're reviewing customer feedback with your team. The surface comments are positive, but you need a deeper understanding. You could say, to fully grasp the customer feedback, we should peel back the layers and analyze each segment. This indicates a thorough and nuanced approach. Moving on to do a deep dive. Repeat after me. Do a deep dive. Use this when you need to investigate something thoroughly. For example, in a strategy session, you might need detailed insights into your competitors. You could say, we should do a deep dive into our competitors' strategies to stay ahead. This phrase conveys a commitment to comprehensive analysis. Now, let's talk about unpack the details. Say it together. Unpack the details. This phrase is about examining all the elements of a situation. Imagine you're presenting quarterly sales data. To identify areas for improvement, you could say, it's essential to unpack the details of our sales data to pinpoint where we can improve. This shows your attention to detail and proactive approach. Next up is drill down. Repeat after me. Drill down. This expression is great for focusing on a specific aspect of a larger issue. Let's say you're discussing employee satisfaction in a company-wide survey. You might say, we need to drill down into the employee survey results to understand the root causes of dissatisfaction. This helps target your investigation to find specific solutions. Finally, we have dig into the numbers. Say it with me. Dig into the numbers. Use this phrase when you need to closely examine numerical data. For instance, if profits are declining and you need to find out why, you could say, we need to dig into the numbers to understand why our profits are declining. This phrase underscores your analytical skills and attention to critical financial details. These 6 expressions will equip you to handle detailed investigations and discussions in your professional life. But we're not done yet. Stay tuned for some key final tips on how to make these phrases work even harder for you. Let's keep going. So, we've covered some powerful expressions to help you investigate topics in more detail. Now, let's wrap up with some key tips to ensure you're using these phrases effectively in your professional life. Firstly, context is everything. Each phrase we've discussed has its own ideal scenario. Make sure you match the phrase to the situation. For example, peel back the layers works well in a customer feedback analysis, while dig into the numbers is perfect for financial reviews. Using the right phrase at the right time shows your nuanced understanding and boosts your credibility. Secondly, practice makes perfect. Try incorporating these phrases into your everyday business conversations. You could start with internal meetings before using them with clients or in high-stakes presentations. The more you use them, the more natural they'll feel. Also, remember to be confident. These expressions are powerful because they show a proactive and detailed approach to problem solving. When you say, let's get into the weeds of this issue, say it with authority. Your confidence will inspire others to trust in your leadership and insights. Now, here's a tip that might surprise you. Vary your language. While these phrases are great, you don't want to overuse them. Mix them with other expressions to keep your language fresh and engaging. This not only helps maintain your audience's interest, but also showcases your versatility in business communication. Lastly, always be ready to explain your reasoning. When you suggest, let's do a deep dive into this data, be prepared to explain why a deep dive is necessary and what specific insights you're hoping to uncover. This clarity will help align your team and ensure everyone is on the same page. So, which of these tips will you implement first? Will you start by practicing these phrases in your next meeting, or perhaps focus on varying your language to keep things fresh? Think about it and choose one actionable step to enhance your business English skills today. And that wraps up today's episode of the Business English Podcast. I hope you found these expressions and tips both practical and inspiring. Remember, mastering these phrases can truly set you apart in your professional communication. Before you go, I have a quick question for you. Which of these phrases will you use in your next meeting? Think about it and try it out. You might be surprised at the positive reactions you get. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. Your feedback helps us deliver more valuable content. Also, share this podcast with colleagues who might benefit from enhancing their business English skills too. Thanks for listening to the Business English Podcast, and until next time, keep it strictly business. You have been listening to the Business English Podcast. Remember to subscribe, leave a review, and we'll see you next time.